So today I want to talk to you about how to find slope from a graph. First of all, the definition of slope is the change in the y's over the change in the x's. So another way to write that would be a triangle y for change in y's over the change in x's. The common mistake that people do is they'll do the x's on top just because x comes first in the alphabet. But just please remember that the change in y's is in your numerator and the change in x's is in your denominator. This is going to end up being a fraction sometimes. Another word for slope is rate of change. So when someone or some word problem asks for the rate of change, you need to know that they're asking for the slope. So we're going to look at this graph and find the slope of this line. Notice that I have 2 points already filled in, and they're actually on what I like to call a crosshair. A crosshair is where two lines meet, and it's touching right there. You won't always be on a crosshair. For instance, point right here is not on a crosshair. Different times you won't be on a crosshair. So to find the slope, you always, to save yourself some trouble, start on the bottom dot. So if you'll put your pencil on the bottom dot, and then we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. So that's called a rise. Rise 3. And then we've got to get to this point. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, run 3 as well. So my rise over run equals 3 over 3, which reduces to a 1. Here, same thing, except you know this is going downhill. So we're going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over the run 1, 2, 3, except it went left, negative. This is going downhill. So the answer is negative 5 over 3. Doesn't matter where the negative is as long as there's a negative there. If it doesn't simplify to a simplified fraction, if it's going to end up being a mixed number, leave it improper. That is okay. So we had a positive and a negative. Here, this is a horizontal line. Horizontal lines, this would be, the equation would be y equals 2. That's what that one looks like. And the slope equals 0. All horizontal lines, the slope is 0. It's a flat line. And that one is crossing at 2 on the y-axis, so the equation would be y equals 2. Anytime you just have a y equals a number, that's a horizontal line. And then finally, you have this vertical line. This vertical line is crossing the x-axis at negative 2, so that equation would be x equals negative 2. And the slope for all vertical lines, it's a weird one. It has a term called undefined. Anytime you have a vertical line, the slope is undefined. That's a straight up and down line. So you have positive, negatives, 0, and undefined, and make sure you're doing rise over run, starting at the bottom dot, going from one dot to the next. That's slope from a graph or rate of change.